Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I'll be checking out a track from Surgeon, which is a project of Jake from Reflections. Reflections has been a top band for me for quite some time, so I'm really excited to check this out. It took me way too long to check this project out. I've had it on my radar for a long time. I think before this track that I'm about to check out even came out. This one is called B.H.C.F.H.C, and it came out at the beginning of March. I will link the video I'll be using from Slam Worldwide's channel in the description of this video, as well as all of Surgeon's social media or any sort of promotional links that you can find for the project. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. That is a fun intro. This is undeniably Jake style. Ugh. Oh. Is it good? Surgeon, B.H.C.F.H.C. Let's discuss. I was not expecting this for some reason. Like, obviously the stuff that Reflections has been working on more recently has mostly been Jake. So I'm not sure why I was so surprised by the fact that this was very tapped in with the heaviest parts of Reflections. I think especially in the guitar work vocally, I feel like that goes without saying because it's Jake's vocals that are being used. But I guess more so in the instrumental parts of the song. I was not expecting it to be, so, especially in these riffs and some of the heaviness. But you have parts like right after whatever it said about, I remember these lyrics because it's kind of the stuff that sticks with you, like, you what? But it was like something about like turning humans into slabs of meat or something like that. But the groove that followed right after that part, it kind of gave you that eerie, strip everything down to silence, and then came in with the groove that I'm talking about. That part, that is the exact representation of everything that I love about this sound. It's catchy at the same time as it's heavy and it's groovy, and that sort of stuff is the stuff that gets stuck in my head, that I'll randomly be doing something and then just start thinking of that part of the song. And I love that sort of feel, as well as like this is very identifiable, like what I was saying about it being undeniably the sound of Jake. I think that Reflections, what makes them have that sort of identifiable quality would be in like the chaos that is their instrumentals sometimes, the vocals from Jake obviously being a huge draw, but also the combination of those things together. Some of the crazy all over the place riff work, some of the weird timing and stuff, that is all very much what I expect from Jake. But for whatever reason, I was kind of expecting this to be a little bit less of their Reflections, like craziness in the riffs, I guess, like that exact, it just expands on that, like crazy, further leans into like that heavy deathcore sound that Reflections presents, because sometimes Reflections does, like The Color Clear is my favorite album from them, and it's probably their, it's more of a tame release for them when you get into some of their other and that's not to say that the style that I'm talking about here isn't on that album, because it very much is. It's always been a part of Reflections sound. But I think especially as we've gotten further into their discography with Willow, with the EP that they did last year, with those things, I think that Jake was really kind of messing around with what we see here, but just not in as, polished of a way as it being a whole entire different project. I think that gives him sort of the ability to really like drop your shoulder and like lean into those elements that we wouldn't really hear this amount of heaviness to it, or some of this stuff if there wasn't a second project, if that makes sense. And also makes me wonder what Reflections will be doing, because of like this sort of heaviness and it almost reminds me of like robot, science feel in the instrumentals for a lot of what Jake works on. And I think this kind of would be like the most of that, because it's got to do with like the guitar work is a huge part of everything that I really feel I'm talking about when I'm talking about Reflections. And also it does not change going into this, because like I said, that's those qualities are carried over, and I love that, because as I've mentioned on the channel multiple times, Reflections is a huge band for me. The Color Clear, Willow, they just did a Redux album recently, which is probably one of my favorite Redux albums that I've heard. I've been still revisiting it quite often. So Reflections is just a band that's constantly, it feels like, even to take a record that they had put out a long time ago and then for it to be like polished up and released again and just hit differently. I don't feel like that often happens. Like I've had some albums that are redone that come out and I'm like, yeah, like this is fine, but I probably still won't like put it on the rotation that much. It did not feel that way with Reflection. So I just feel like Jake is very much in his craft right now, doing a lot of stuff that I'm very into, and this has me excited because it feels like the heaviest parts of Reflections have been taken and kind of sidetracked into something different where they'll be able to be like nourished and kind of thought about more, and while at the same time it's ideal because I'm still going to be getting reflections. I mean, assumably, I hope so, please Lord. But you know, just a lot of stuff to kind of be excited about when it comes to the music that Jake is working on. So definitely a musician that I'm always watching. I love to see the videos he posts. He has like this angle of the drum kit that's like a bird's eye view type of thing, and the kit that he has is crazy. So I'm always just looking to see what he's posting, what he's doing. It always seems to be something creative and interesting and very much in this sound, but I'm so stoked on this for the reasons that I've already mentioned. So yeah, without kind of carrying on too much, this was a really nice, I don't want to say too much of like a surprise for me because it wasn't like nothing I've ever really heard before, but it really was my, you know, the heaviest parts of Reflections and kind of turned into something a little bit different. So that for me is pretty ideal, I would say, with Reflections being one of my favorites. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Surgeon and their video that I used off of Slam Worldwide's channel, all of their social media promotional links will be in the description of this video, as well as Jake's Instagram that I was mentioning that has all those drum videos, and it's very interesting to keep on top of the content that he's working on, so definitely give that a check out as well. All that in the description. You can also find my link tree, which will have the invite for the Discord server. That is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. We've got a lot of really wonderful people in there, just a bunch of music lovers having a community. So if you're interested in joining, checking that out, that will be there, as well as my Patreon link. I've been working very hard on the content, have some new stuff that I was just filming before this that I have coming out soon, working on getting this. People wanted me to talk about the video games that I play as well, so I have a lot of music related content that's obviously 90%, 95%, 98% of what you'll see on there, but when people do want something a little bit different, like to know what video games, I'm trying to take that into consideration as well and work that stuff in. So I've been working on that. I have a little bit of a hold up with figuring some of the recording out and stuff like that, but it's been a neat learning experience. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing what I offer in the tiers on my Patreon, that can be found in the link tree in the description as well. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.